Welcome to the 1,000 Point Club, Jenny, as she adds to her total. You can count on Red because he's always celebrating Cardinal athletics. It's senior night, and it's time to honor those who have come before you. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro, and we've got a quick show tonight.
A very quick show. We're down to the very end of the winter season. The boys basketball team, all that remains in action for Coon Rapids High School. We'll talk a little bit later about their upcoming section tournament.
Yes.
But a couple of pretty impressive Cardinal careers came to a close this past week. We'll talk about Jenny Tomboy in a minute, but first, Tyler Schultz with a fitting finish for his high school years. It was no surprise to see Tyler Schultz qualified for the state meet. It would have been more surprising if he hadn't. He has qualified for state in multiple events in each of his 4 high school seasons, and in his final meet as a Cardinal, he had the best finish of his storied career. The Aquatic Center at the U of M feeling a little more normal with fans back in the stands. Schultz was section runner-up in the 200 individual medley. He entered the state tournament as the 8th seed. He does a little bit better than that, finishing 7th place in the 200 IM final. Another all-state finish in 1 minute, 54.65 seconds. The 100 breaststroke is Schultz's signature event. It was his 3rd time swimming the breaststroke at state. He's just out-touched at the wall, finishing 3rd in 57 seconds flat. It's his highest finish on the podium, and while it ends his time as a Cardinal, his swimming career is far from over.
It was pretty good. It's like 3rd is my best place that I've gotten at state at high school. And so it's pretty good. It's it wasn't my best time, but it's still very good, yeah. I have club state going on next weekend, and then after that I'll start my long course season. I'm really excited for that, yeah. It'll be fun.
Tyler is headed to Ohio next year, where he will swim for the Cleveland State University Vikings. And that just talks about how busy his schedule is. We don't think a lot about it. We talk about the swimming and diving team. He's completing a club state tournament this week, and then has the spring-summer season before heading off to start his college career.
Could you see the excitement in his face, though? I mean, the big smile, first of all, he got some hardware at state, but he's got so much, as you mentioned, in front of him, and the excitement of swimming at the next level. I mean, I wish him all the best, and he's been so much fun to watch here.
And he's got his name on that school record board a couple of times. His sister is, we know, has put her name all over that board, but a couple of one family that has left a pretty impressive legacy at the pool and around Coon Rapids swimming.
No question. Well, last week also saw the final game of one of the best girls basketball players in school history. Jenny Tomboy scored her 1,000th point in the regular season finale. Last week, she led the Cardinals into the section tournament on a wing and a prayer. They were 8th seed, but they knew they had to play top-seeded Centennial tough in their first meeting, and now they had nothing to lose. Coon Rapids looking to get the offense rolling early. Casey Beck calls the bank from long range. Off the glass, and the Cardinals had a brief lead early on. The Cougars struggle from the perimeter, but their inside game helps them build their lead in the first. Macy Littlefield scoring on that fast break. Centennial leads 20-6. Cardinals able to close the gap late in the half. Camille Washburn drives and scores with the sweet finger roll. Still, Centennial led by 9 at the break. While the Cougars trying to carry the lead into the second half, a short jumper by Camille Cummings, part of a 15-point night for that young lady. But the Cardinals weren't done fighting. Caroline Brunell had a season-best 10 points in the game and helped Coon Rapids cut into the lead. The Tomboy was limited to just 6 points in the first half. Gets going a little better in the second. She hits a little floater from the lane. The Cards get back within 5. But that's when the Cougars closed it down. A 16-2 run built their lead to 20 points with just over 6 minutes to play. Tomboy scored the last 13 Coon Rapids points, led all scores in the game with 21, but Centennial coasted to the win 65-46. Tomboy finished with 467 points this season, roughly 42% of the team scoring, and 1,029 points for her career. She will be missed. She was special in this program, and we will miss her as well.
Absolutely. Even when she came in as a freshman, just 38 of those points her freshman year. because that was a very good senior class that year. But you could see from that very beginning that she was going to be a special player to watch. Very cool to see her get into the 1,000-point club because it's only happened a handful of times in school history. As far as the section tournament goes, top 4 seeds all advance in the quarterfinal round, and relatively handily. Centennial over Coon Rapids. Our game was actually one of the closer contests. Blaine getting past Forest Lake by 9, though. Those games on Tuesday, and then the final at North Branch on Saturday. Boys basketball team, as we talked about, they'll get their section tournament this past week, their final week of the regular season. Their final road game was on the road against Rogers, able to break it open late and run away with a 86-73 win. Matthew Ellingson leading the way with a 23-point effort. Cummings Coleman had 20. McKeith Dang added 16, and Elijah Smith chipped in 15. Jackson Hetwer had 6 points and 3 assists, pushing the Cardinals to 17-8. Well, the boys basketball team, as I mentioned, will open the section tournament on Thursday. They will be at home, and they'll be looking to bounce back from a loss. The Cardinals have had a great season, and they were hoping for a stronger finish when they hosted Elk River on Friday. The Elks were a game over 500 and had lost 3 straight, but they did just enough to outlast the Cardinals in their only meeting of the season. Cardinals celebrating their 5 seniors, playing their final regular season game on the fieldhouse floor, and this one is an old-fashioned shootout from the very start. McKeith Dang hits a 3 from high on the left. Start of a solid 14-point night for him. Elks couldn't sleep on the other wing either. Elijah Smith raining down from the right side, but the Cardinals couldn't pull away because the Elks got their big guns going too. Kate Osterman with room makes it look easy. He led all scorers with 23 points on Friday night. Back the other way, Kyjon Cummings Coleman steps back and drops a bomb. He had a team-high 20 points for the Cardinals. This one's dead even, 32 all at the half. Seesaw battle continues in the second. Ellingson drives and dishes. Jackson Hetwer hitting from the corner tips the scales back in favor of the home squad. But again, there's an answer at the other end. Caleb Gilquist kicks it to Parker Benny in the corner, part of his 22 points that put the Cardinals back in front. Not all of the scoring was from the perimeter. However, good passing down low. Gilquist has the basket and the foul. Elks putting the pressure on late in the game. Coon Rapids staying scrappy. Hetwer hits another 3-pointer. He had a career best 12 points, but the Cardinals come up just short, losing 70-66. They finished the regular season at 17-9. And how you look at that game is another one that the Cardinals feel that maybe got away from them early in the season. We saw the Maple Grove game. They had a big lead, lost it in overtime. The Armstrong game,
yep.
A 1-point loss. So 17-9, a pretty impressive record. This easily could have been a 20-win team.
Yeah, whether they won or they lost, Joe, it wouldn't have mattered as far as their section seeding. However, I think they really wanted to go into this section tournament on a winning note, and I really felt that coming into this game, that they felt Elk River was a team that they could and should beat. So I think in that aspect, it's a little disappointing. Now you throw everything out because your season starts anew with section playoffs.
Well, and they are going to start on the home court as the number 2 seed, hosting the Anoka Tornadoes. Andover gets the number 1 seed. They'll get Cambridge Isani in the first round. Duluth East will welcome Blaine. The Bengals get the longest drive in the section. Centennial, the 3 seed, will take on Forest Lake on Thursday. And Howie, a little reminiscent 5 or 6 years ago, the Sam Carver hit the big buzzer beater in that same quarterfinal matchup at the Fieldhouse. Believe that was a 3 versus a 6.
I believe so.
But either way, Anoka's played the Cardinals relatively tough in their 2 meetings, and you have to take into account how both teams have changed throughout the season, but also one team playing with a little desperation, and the other team is the Cardinals as a number 2 seed have the pressure on their shoulders. Well,
certainly you can't look past any game in this bracket, but it's obviously could set up to be interesting matchup in the finals if the Cardinals play well. Their road to the finals is an opportunity for them to get there. You talked about Anoka, only 5 wins on the season, but they've played scrappy. Coach Jefferson puts together a good product. Jane Amari, really good player who I'm sure I know we'll talk about at the game, but they've got 3 players in double-digit scoring. So, but again, only 5 wins on the season. So the Cardinals, home court, they play their game, they have an opportunity to advance to the next round.
Well, we will have what those results are for you next week on Sports Night. We will be there on Thursday night. You can't see it live on air, so you got to come down to the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse, help protect the nest, and then go home and watch it. It'll premiere at midnight, and then we will continue to follow them should they be playing on Tuesday the 15th. We hope to be there. And should they be in a championship game and we be fortunate enough to be able to provide the coverage,
yes,
we will be there as long as they shall go, and the show will go on until that time.
I'm looking for you, but you can't look past anybody because you never know who you're going to get in the next round either. So, but I'll tell you what, if Andover and Coon Rapids are squaring off in that final game, I'll be there. I'll be there.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports Night. We want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying good night.